Okay, hello Sam, how are you today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Fine. I know that you're from England, so first of all, I want to congratulate you on the winning of England national football team over Colombia.
Perfect, thank you very much. It's a good night.
Okay, I wish that England would be the champion this year in the World Cup.
Me too, me too.
Okay, right. So in the show today, we're gonna answer some questions from you to solve all the problems that you often meet in learning English. Okay. So we're really happy to have you in the interview, and I know that you're really, enthusiastic to share with Vietnamese people the way to learn English effectively. All right, so today we're going to answer some questions that people often ask when it comes to learning English. Right? Okay, so first of all, a question from Miss Phương from District 5. Okay, she says, I have a child who is just 6 years old. I want to let him study English with a native speaker. But at his age, I wonder whether he can understand what his teacher teaches him. He's very active and studious. Please give me some advice. Thank you.
Okay. I would say that 6-year-olds, teachers are equipped to teach kind of children that age or younger. So they will develop a lesson plan that kind of tailors around 6-year-olds. So if you've got an active person, you know that to include a lot of interactive activities for them to really get involved and get passionate about while still learning English. You've got to make it interesting and fun for the child in order for them to learn. So I think as long as you make sure that the kids are enjoying themselves, especially at 6 years old, they want to run around, they want to play with their friends. If you include that as well as keeping the main focal point of learning, I think there is no reason that he would not enjoy learning English.
At his age, I think that it's very, boring for him just sit and listen to the lessons all the time.
Yeah, no one wants to sit at 6 years old in a classroom and look at a whiteboard for an hour.
Yeah.
So if the teachers are able to play games or include activities, maybe even a bit of competition, it really gets the children involved and really want to partake in the lesson as well, so they learn more.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so now we come to another question from Miss Tan from the district. I find it really hard to learn vocabulary, the common problem of Vietnamese, My problem is that I don't know the right way to learn and use the word, to use the new words. Can you tell me how I can learn vocabulary properly?
So there are probably a few ways you can go about learning new vocabulary. Some students I've met have a little book where every day they put a new word in there. Something that I think is really useful is speaking to a lot of different people. Some people might use different words to what I do in our country, even slang words. So I think if you're able to get that practice of speaking to other people and also trying to use your new vocabulary in a phrase to show that you understand it, from a teaching point of view, it's really, really nice and refreshing to see a student try and use what they've just learned in practice, and when it works out right and they smile, it's a good feeling. So I think if they can try practice it where they can and not be scared of getting it wrong. If they're speaking to an English person or a native speaker and they've got the phrase wrong, they might be corrected, but you can always learn from your mistakes. So I think it's a good way to always try use new vocabulary where you can. And if you get it wrong, you find out why you got it wrong, you don't make that mistake again, and then you move on to another word.
Okay. I myself also have a very, helpful way to learn vocabulary. I use flashcards.
Yeah.
Because I work mostly in the office, so I'm kind of busy. So in my free time, I often use flashcards to learn vocabulary. It's kind of, fun.
Yeah.
It's helped me learn very effectively.
When teaching kind of English, it's very important to use things like flashcards. It's probably one of the best ways to expand a student's knowledge of going from one word to a variety of words for that phrase. I've done a bit of teaching recently where I've had a topic that I've had to explain about, and then flashcards are the different words that could be included within that topic, and they have to use it in a sentence. So I'm really trying to get students involved in not just saying it one way, but understanding there is another way to say it. And that's actually something that I find quite useful, is that when a native speaker speaks to someone, to a Vietnamese student, they have to talk to each other in English. So if the Vietnamese person doesn't understand or is trying to say something, they can't just ask what it means in Vietnamese. They have to think of a way to overcome that problem to let the teacher know that they don't understand. So I think it's really important and really beneficial for especially improving up to an advanced level of English.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so now we come to the final questions of the show today. It's from Mr. V. He's living in District 8. Okay, his question is like, I'm going to settle down in America next month to reunite with my family there. However, I'm not really confident in my English speaking. I think it would be difficult for me to communicate with native speakers when moving to the US. Any advice for beginners like me? Many thanks.
I think the first couple of weeks will be more difficult because you're getting used to everything. But when you are in a place for a longer period of time, you really get to understand the dialect and you will pick it up quicker than you think. Just practice it where you can. Americans are, they're not going to say, no, that's wrong. Well, they might do actually, but they might do it in a constructive way. So instead of saying this, try saying it this way. And also, I'm sure Mr. Fee can say that, if someone's speaking too quickly for him, to slow it down or to say it in a way that he can understand. Similarly to what I said, he knows that he can't rely on speaking Vietnamese there, so speaking in English is really his only option. So to take it slow, make sure that you have a basic understanding of the sentences, and then I think just being surrounded by lots of English-speaking people will really, really improve his English over the coming weeks or months he's there.
Yeah, I see. My advice is that he also should learn slangs. Because American people usually use slang during the activities.
I would agree, and I'd say the thing is with slang, it varies even in America. If you are a Californian or you're from New York, it completely varies what some words might mean. So, I think the way that even when I'm learning slang words from America and Canada myself as an English person, the best way to learn the slang is to speak to the people that are from those areas. Not a lot of books or online content will say what the slang words are for each area, so just going there and speaking to as many people as you can will make you understand the dialect they speak in that specific part of, say, America where Mr. Fee might be going.
I see. Thank you.
Okay,
so this is the end of the show today. Thank you for your watching. If you have some questions or problems during the time you study English, just give it to us. Okay, we're from EIV. Thank you for your watching.
Thank you.